Arcx and Ripple and XRP are slowly taking over the world. Is Arcx working with BlackRock? Is that how we're going to get to 30 to 50 trillion on the XRPL in the next few years? Also, Gary Gensler is being sued by different states in the US. Plus, he's going to be resigning. That is the word out on the street. We're going to talk about that today. And I have a special treat towards the end of this video. You want to stay tuned for the whole thing? Let's get into this. I'm Crypto Sensei. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, share, and support. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and talk about this. XRP at 80 cents. Congratulations, we've made it. The SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, will resign in the upcoming days. Just in 18 states are suing the SEC, accusing Gary Gensler of crypto overreach. I mean, I think we're just kind of, what's the point of the lawsuit, right? He's going to be gone. By the time the first hearing of this lawsuit happens, Gary Gensler will be gone, right? Now, the SEC will still be there, but it's going to be under new management, right? The Trump administration. So is this kind of just a waste of time and taxpayer money? You tell me down below. Do you feel this is still necessary? Or like, should we just move on with maybe getting crypto regulation in America, right? Or maybe this has to happen to do that. I don't know. You tell me. And then, of course, John Deaton puts here, Gary Gensler might resign by end of day tomorrow. This video will probably come out tomorrow, which is Friday. And man, you know, a lot of people are talking about this. It says in a speech that Gary Gensler gave today, he admits how he misjudged and what a waste of resources his assault on crypto has been, while simultaneously making an important attempt to defend his agenda. In one hand, he said, our focus rather has been on some of the 10,000 or so digital assets, many of which courts have ruled were offered or sold as securities. Putting this in context, aside from Bitcoin, Ether, and stablecoins, he still can't mention XRP, huh? What a bitch. Listen, Gary Gensler told crypto companies in the US to come in and register and we'll work with you. Then he turned around and he sued those companies. I don't want to hear him saying, oh, well, you know, I tried my best. We were just going after the bad actors. That is all a bunch of horseshit. And I think you and I both know that. So listen, people tend to whitewash over, you know, all of the bad stuff they've done and try to basically set a new precedent of what, you know, their last 4 years have been. And he's trying to say that, hey, we didn't really do anything bad here. We were just following the rule of law, when clearly he had an agenda. It wasn't fully his agenda, but it was other people around him pressuring him, like Elizabeth Warren. But still, he was either a patsy or he knew what he was doing and he liked it. Either one, it's unacceptable. So anyway, let's talk about Ripple's future and XRP's future, because that is all quite depressing for me. I really thought Gary Gensler was going to be good for the crypto industry. Man, I have never been so wrong in my entire life. So turning point, let's talk about this. Arcx has tokenized real estate assets, including equities, debt instruments, and money market funds. Where do you think trillions of dollars are, my friends? There is over $300 trillion of debt in the globally, right? And if we can tokenize this debt and bring it onto something like the XRP ledger, well, maybe there's more things that can be done with that debt to really help either the people that are in debt pay that debt back more quickly, or the companies that are issuing this debt, they can have more control and, you know, easier way to manage, I guess you would say, of that debt. So Graham Rodford, chief executive of Arcx, said in a statement in June, we have hit the tipping point for mainstream adoption of digital assets for real-world use cases. Financial institutions are now understanding this, and we are excited to play our part in helping them to embrace the technology by bringing their assets onto the XRP ledger. Boom, right? I did want to mention, we have had a flurry of activity inside of the Cryptonairz Discord. I am up $200,000 in 6 days off of some plays and information that I personally found that were posted inside of Cryptonairz as I was buying those plays. Now, you know, we have hundreds of members from all across the world and a really great team. So not only the information that I'm putting into the community, but there's incredible members from our community that are still sharing information every single day, and people are making money. Okay. If you would have taken $100 and put it into the last 5 plays that I had mentioned over the last 6 days, you would be up $15,000. Yes, you would have had 150x total just on the 5 plays that I mentioned personally. It's up to you. wap.com/Cryptonairz. There'll be a link down in the description. If you want to make money in this bull market, it's only $100 away. All right. You can actually use code BULLRUN to save $50. So it's $50 a month to the end of the year. Right. And then you can say, hey, do I want to stay in this community? Is it helping me make money? Yes, we are. All right. The team at Arcx are doing great work. What if there was a solution that could cryptographically prove BlackRock gave permission to Arcx to tokenize their money market funds? Holy shit. Let's listen to this.
Arcx are doing great work. What if there was a solution that could cryptographically prove that BlackRock gave permission to Arcx to mint the things? Then there would be absolutely no doubt of someone buying something and tokenizing it. It's BlackRock and the tokenization of these money market funds, right? Because imagine that for a second. Imagine if someone knew what the public key of BlackRock was and they signed something that connected to Arcx, and Arcx produced these money market funds. That would be irrefutable. And so that's basically what we're building, is this general workflow system for supply chain, for sustainability, for, asset verification, for Hedera, for enterprises from the ground up. And the really cool thing here is that while it uses the Guardian and it can interface with the Guardian, it would be able to interface with any other tokenization engine, and it would be able to interface and mint credits on other networks. And so it's an interoperable layer 3 that would be able to talk to different actors from across different networks and take data, get things signed off, obviously issue through Guardian or issue through other networks, and then produce assets. And so this is the big vision, is that how can we create a general solution that is a workflow engine that any enterprise, if they wanted to, could take off the shelf and to map to their supply chain or their sustainability or their emissions or whatever they need. And that's what we're basically building.
All right. Now, this kind of makes sense now, right? When the CEO of Arcx, whatever you want to call it, depending where you are in the world, when he came on and he gave this speech, and he said that the CEO of Arcx basically said, over the next few years, we'll see $30 to $50 trillion added to the XRP ledger. And I was thinking, how are you going to do this, right? Like, it sounds good. Like, I'm all for adding trillions of dollars to the XRP ledger, but how are you going to do this? Now, the last few things I just went over, I could start to see why he would think this, right? If you could work with BlackRock to bring their money market funds onto the XRP ledger through this technology, I can see trillions of dollars coming. Can't you? Let's listen to this. If you missed this, check it out.
30 to 50 trillion, all on XRPL, trading on Arcx.
Here we go.
Find my original projections, but the total market is 1.4 quadrillion, everything that's ever out there. And if you start looking across any of those asset classes, they're all starting to move on chain already. And the ease with which we've seen people interested in money market funds, tokenized treasuries, and those types of instruments, the support for stablecoins, when you're talking about replacing cash, when I see DTCC, Euroclear, Clearstream, it only takes one of them to flip onto natively digital, and that's trillions of assets on its own that move. So, tens of trillions, I think we could see. And bearing in mind it's 1.4 quadrillion, this is still a tiny slice of a huge market. 30 to 50 trillion, all on XRPL, trading on Arcx.
Here we go. $50 trillion. 2 years from now, Ripple, Twitter will replay the session.
We'll replay the session. Also, guys, please, if you come back and you watch all my videos, be sure to drop a like. YouTube, I guess they only care about likes these days. And if you like the video, it helps me get in front of more amazing people like you. I work really hard to make this channel possible. Please help me get in front of more people like you, please. All right. If you want to support my channel, you could become a member on YouTube, or you could become a member of Cryptonairz, or you could just like the video. If you want to do the very least to help support the channel, like the video. I appreciate you. All right. Ripple and Arcx partner of tokenization and real world assets, right? So, this is just going that they are partners, right? There's irrefutable proof that these guys are working together towards a tokenization future, right? Ripple is at the heart of all of this innovation. They always have been. They are always going to be here, right? This is my favorite company in the blockchain space by far. It doesn't get better than the people working at Ripple to bring the future of tokenization, money movement, central bank digital currency, stablecoins now, right? I truly believe that if once Ripple masters the stablecoin technology, that they're going to be able to issue any bank or any corporation their own stablecoin that can work inside of their own ecosystem. It'll run on the XRP ledger. Mark my words. Mark my words. All right. Also, it looks like there's some good news coming out of California. Very rarely do you have good news coming out of Oakland. I used to live next to Oakland. I'm very well versed on all the bad shit that happens in Oakland, but they're turning it around, it looks like. So XRP lawsuit court issues order in favor of Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. I believe now, like, I don't follow everybody, but I think this was the lawsuit by the random, one or two people that lost like $1,500 and they decided to sue Ripple. Good riddance, right? I'm glad this is one less thing that Brad Garlinghouse has to worry about. I'd love for Brad to just focus on building the future of technology in blockchain. That's all I care about for Brad. Once the SEC stuff is behind him, man, he is going to feel a lot better. I'm sure he will. Black Swan Capital has put this out. More Ripple issued stablecoins on the XRP only increases the value of XRP. That's true. So if you have, Ripple stablecoin that's $1 trillion in that, and then you have all of these other maybe banks or corporations like I was talking about want to issue their own stablecoins on the XRPL using Ripple's technology. Well, all of that value, if it lives on the XRPL, that is going to increase the price of XRP, and that's what we want. All right. It says, as the demand continues to surge, the price of XRP will rise significantly to meet the demand. Listen, there's incredibly intelligent people to follow in the XRP space. Verson is one of those people. I had the opportunity to invite him to the XRP summit that we had, and man, this guy knows his stuff. I had the pleasure of talking with him privately, and couldn't be a more caring person in the world, man. I hadn't known him long, but he really connected with me and felt like he gave a shit about who I was as just a regular person, not with all this other stuff. And you should follow his account. Okay. I said the French finance services firm said earlier this year it will also expand EURCV to the Solana network after struggling to attract users on Ethereum. Who wants to use Ethereum? All right. And then XRP VetXO said all upcoming XRP ledger amendments, multi-purpose tokens, also known as MPT, new token standard for real world assets tokenization. I love that. AMM clawbacks, allowing tokens with clawback like RLUSD to be used in the AMM. Listen, the reason clawbacks are so important is, let's say that we start moving the XRP ledger to like Amazon, right? Or goods where you're buying goods and services online. You wait for those goods to show up at your front door, and they show up and it's not what you want. Then you return those goods, right? You want to be able to claw back your initial money if you return those goods, and that's what clawbacks do. So that's very, very important. Credentials extends the deposit authorization feature compliance First Amendment. NFT token mint offer combines minting to offer creation of NFTs in one step. This is going to be very vitally important when you're talking about tokenizing real estate, right? Or tokenizing anything of value can go into NFTs and they can change the metadata. Aside from very important fix and amendments and non-C improvements, the list is packed. So guys, you're in the right place at the right time. Let's take advantage of this bull market and let's make some money. All right. That's what we're here to do. And then also to finish off this great video, thank you for being here till the end. I got some good stuff here towards the end here. So XRP Drops put this out. Few understand Ripple has created the standard for digital payments with the Interledger protocol like TCP/IP for the internet. Let me play this. Go.
It's unlikely, I think it's almost impossible, that there's going to be one blockchain that is this monolithic thing that is going to be what everybody across the entire world standardizes on. By definition, there will be different ledgers, different blockchains, different networks that exist. So putting the entire world on one blockchain, fundamentally, I don't think it makes sense. It's not how the world is starting to play out. I don't think it's how the will end up being played out. So Ripple kind of pioneered this idea of how do you address that problem? How do you create interoperability between different ledgers, between different payment networks? And so we came up with a protocol, just like there was TCP/IP for the internet. Our engineering team has created something called the Interledger protocol, or ILP. And the idea being that these different networks, blockchain just being one, which is the sort of money, the intra-country check clearing, money moving network here in the United States. Visa is a network. You can argue that HSBC has a payments network, et cetera, et cetera. There are all these islands right now. And sure, you can ask each of these networks to move on the blockchain, but then they're just kind of copying what they're doing and putting it over on a blockchain. There's scalability issues that come up very quickly when that happens. So the idea is, just like the internet connected data networks around the world, there should be a standard, a protocol that connects these value networks, these payment networks. And that's really what the Interledger protocol that we've developed and is now open source. It's now out for other people to build on and improve on and deploy. But it sort of got its start within Ripple. And that's really the idea, is to create these networks. So now you can have interaction between the networks and create that efficiency, that interoperability of value that we'd argue is lacking, sort of that third component after the interoperability of goods, the interoperability of data. You need the interoperability of value. And just like you need standards for those others two, you need standards for this. And the ability to leverage something like the Interledger protocol to do that is super important. And so now here's the nice, pretty future state world. It's all interconnected.
It's all interconnected, interoperability. Listen, if you can't see it yet, don't get frustrated. Just keep studying, keep working on your craft, keep getting in front of, following the right people, watching the right content, educating yourself, because sooner or later, all of this will start to snap into place and you will truly understand that the future of any type of money throughout the world is going to be done on blockchain. And one of the biggest companies in the world that has pioneered DLT technology is Ripple, using XRP. And that's why I do most of my content around XRP. And I feel it's vitally important to educate you, the public. So if you made it to the end, don't forget to slap that like button. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for following. I will see you next time. Have a fantastic bull market. Make lots of money and treat yourself, right? Set a plan, get to that plan, cash that money out. Don't forget about taxes, right? And just enjoy life, because we've waited these last 2 or 3 years and it's been really, really rough. Now it's the good times. So have lots of fun. I'll see you out there.